Greetings, Jake from Wellness in Motion here. A warm welcome to you. What I felt to share with you today is some insider knowledge from within the fitness industry. They teach us this as we go through personal training college, as it were, and it involves a concept called supercompensation. Now, if you haven't heard of this concept before, or if you're wanting to maximize your results and get the most from your efforts in the gym, to train efficiently, in other words, you're going to want to pay attention to this. So what I'm going to do to explain this is utilize this graph here on the screen. We have our weekly schedule. And imagine that you are a diligent person. You train first opportunity on a Monday, well, midday, would say. What normally happens is that your body moves into a state of fatigue after training, doesn't it? You feel more tired than you did prior to training. All right, so that line descending indicates your fatigue. Now, what your body does as a result of that is it moves through not only a period of recovery, but it moves to a period in which you are actually at a higher or stronger point than you were prior to training, right? Here's your baseline here, and here's how your body adapted to. So that amount of growth between the two, that's called supercompensation. And ideally, if you want to maximize your results, you'd train again in that peaking point that your body's adapted to. Your body would go back through the same recovery, adaptation, and supercompensation cycle, and you'd be ready to go in this instance, in this depiction, on the Friday for your third training session of the week. You move through once again recovery, adaptation, and supercompensation, and end the week, look at that, with a beautiful gain there. That's an enormous fitness gain for a dedicated and complete training week, isn't it? Now, let's have a look at another scenario. I'll wipe the board here for a moment, actually, after I make a little indication of how much we gained there. So let's scrub the board. Oh, we lost that. We'll go again. Around about here, wasn't it? Let's say once again you trained on Monday. You dropped down into your recovery cycle. Good on you for at least getting Monday in. You adapted through Tuesday. We're ready to go on Wednesday, but because something came up, perhaps your friends invited you out for a drink or a movie, maybe something at work came up, maybe it's a family dilemma or just didn't feel like training that day. Whatever the reason, you missed your training, and so your body's just going to continue back down slowly and gradually to where it was, close toward the baseline. Certainly within a couple of weeks, you'll lose the momentum that you gained from that initial training session, right? So that's not ideal. You still gained a bit. You still got a bit out of that week, only you're training once a week. But if you had have trained more than that, obviously, you would have got a lot more out of the week. Now, let's have another look at how things might work out during the week. Let's say you trained on the Monday once again. Good day to start. You went through recovery, adaptation, and there you were ready to go on Wednesday. Oops, missed training again. And so your body's just gradually going to decline back to the baseline, isn't it? But fortunately, you had in your schedule your training session on the Friday. You moved through into a fatigue, recovery, adaptation, and by the end of the week, good on you, training twice a week. You've gained a fair amount, haven't you? Now, remember in that initial depiction, the gain was down here, wasn't it? From once a week. In this depiction I've just shown here, for twice a week, you can see the line. We've gained quite a bit. And 3 times a week, well, you can see that's a lot more that has been gained. So that's a simple way, a simple analogy and depiction through which we can understand this concept called supercompensation and getting your training in when your body ideally needs it in terms of the training stimulus. So if this is a new concept for you, or if you'd like some help in ideally applying that to your current weekly plan or training routine, feel welcome to come down to the studio, speak with one of our exercise physiologists or personal trainers, and we'll work out specifically how this is going to most effectively work for you. All right, I hope you've enjoyed the information, the presentation. Have a great day, and I'll look forward to the next one.